Early in the morning, totally devoted. Welcome back to the Goat Pod. We have a very, very special guest. We got a fan here who we have started communication, just admiring each other's interests and stuff. And then we realized that we're both big Bachelorette fans. I have Miss Nicole in the building. Thank you so much for coming. Get a round of applause for Nicole, please.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's really, really a pleasure. Honestly, anyone that supports us, we just are so lucky to have anybody that supports us. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you found our page and what we do here?
I think I just stumbled upon the Drake giveaway.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Ever since then, you've been tuning in?
Yep. Yeah.
Great. Well, if you haven't entered, guys, thank you for plugging that. Enter the Drake giveaway. We're going to give those away here in a few days here on Monday. So I'm super excited for that, and that'll be really fun. But we realized that we both have an affinity for the Bachelor Nation, which is what we're here to talk about today. So this particular episode, we are going to be reviewing the most recent episode of The Bachelorette.
Yes. I'm excited.
So, The Bachelorette. Now, tell me when you started watching and what is your opinion on the whole Bachelor Nation?
Oh my gosh. I started watching with my mom when I was so young, probably in like middle school or something.
Golly.
Probably when I shouldn't have been watching.
Right.
But I've watched every season ever. And yeah, I know it's cheesy and some people, have their strong opinions about it, but I just really like it. And I've always followed with all the podcasts and all the tea pages. And,
it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining. For me, I watched it. I started watching. I just went back and looked, and I said my first season was Rachel Lindsay. A couple years ago, me and an ex-girlfriend of mine, we would love it. Like that was our day. We would hang out on Monday nights, and we'd watch it, and we would just laugh. Like it's really just comedy, is what it is.
Right. You can't take it too seriously.
Yeah. It's a people think it's a reality show. It's somewhat scripted. Now, you can't tell them who to fall in love with, or you can't tell them who to spend their time with or give their attention to, but you know that it's somewhat scripted. So you have to take it, guys, if you're watching it for the first time, especially guys hanging out with your ladies and they want to watch it, it's comedy. So don't take it too seriously. Now, before we get into this season, I have some questions. So the seasons that I've watched were Rachel Lindsay, and then after her, I believe it was Becca. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then after Becca, I think it was the girl with the girl with the accent, Hannah
Brown.
Yeah, Hannah Brown, and then after that it was Claire, and then Tasha, and then that's when I stopped, because once Chris Harrison was exiled,
yes,
I had to take a break.
I agree. I loved Chris Harrison. He was great. But the first season with Jesse Palmer, I was like, whatever. But I really do think this past episode that he has stepped into his role more, and I feel like he's getting a lot better at it.
I didn't know that he was the host. Like I said, I took a hiatus for a couple seasons. I didn't know he was the host, but I actually love Jesse Palmer. I think he's just the ultimate guy's guy. Yes. I know he was a football player, but I think he was the Bachelor.
Yep.
And he's just a stud and just a nice guy. I'm like, I like this guy. Yeah. So kind of sad because I want that job, but all those guys I really want all their jobs, like Chris Harrison, TJ Lavin from the Challenge, and Andy Cohen. I want your job, guys, because
you'd be good at that.
I think so one day. But yeah, so I took my little break, but in the seasons that I've seen, out of all those, I think 5 women, the only one that's still with their guy is Rachel.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the Bachelor/Bachelorette process? Do you think it works? And what do you just give me your opinion on that.
It's hard to say, because statistically, the Bachelorette versus the Bachelor, they are better at picking.
The Bachelorette's better at picking?
Yeah, so there's more Bachelorettes who are still with their pick.
Yeah.
A few off the top of my head, Desiree, JoJo, I don't know. But statistically, it is better. And I feel like just because women have a better intuition.
Right. They have a better intuition. And then with men, look, to me, women are just as excited about men as men are excited about women. However, I think men, they see, hey, I'm in a dream scenario. I have 30 women. I have 30 women that are all dying to, be in a private area with me and talk to me and then and kiss me, all that. So they kind of get blinded by that. But women, see, I want to agree with you, but of those 5 women that I talked about, Hannah Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was she thinking with Jed?
I know.
Are you crazy? Literally, are you insane?
I know, and so many people are obsessed with Tyler
over
Cameron.
TC, yeah, over TC. Hold up.
I know he's America's dream man.
Hold up, you have literally an Armani model that's obsessed with you. Versus this loser country guy who only wants to promote his music, but you chose. Yeah. I don't know. And then I know, obviously. Well, I guess my point is that I personally really, really hope they made a change this season. It seems like they did. They didn't have women that were completely, totally in the state of mind to get married. I didn't think.
I agree. Then they tried to change it up a little bit with Claire and Tayshia, who are a little bit older, a little more mature in that aspect, but it still didn't work for them.
Yeah.
But
well, Claire's a psychopath. Let's call a spade a spade.
She is married now, so
she's married now.
I'm happy.
I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. But what about her and that guy Jean Claude or whatever? Was that his name or something? The guy from Paradise, the French guy, dude. She's nuts, but I'm happy that she's married. I'm happy that the process somewhat worked for her. I see that Becca, she has she's engaged with a baby on the way.
Yes, from Paradise.
Yes.
So
is that from Paradise?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I feel
cool.
Paradise does have a little bit of a better track record with couples.
But,
good. Yeah.
Good. Well, guys. I know I'm a little lacking on my knowledge because I was out of the ring for a couple years, but I'm gonna start paying close attention because this is fun. So, anywho. Tell me what you know about Charity. She seemed really, really nice in this first episode, but tell me, like I said, I haven't watched for a couple seasons, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So tell me how she was on the past season of The Bachelor and why, I don't know who the guy.
It was Zach.
Yeah, and why he didn't end up with her.
Yeah. So Zach and his pick Katie are still together, but feel like America just fell in love with Charity. She's so sweet. She's gorgeous. She just is so well spoken. So she's 27 and she is from Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
She went to Auburn. She was a cheerleader, just kind of the all-American kind of girl. Her smile is just so infectious. I love watching her just because when she speaks and her smile, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just so cute. So I'm definitely rooting for her.
To me, it seemed like obviously, like I said, I didn't watch the last season, but she deserves love. You know, she gives her all. She's a genuine person. And for me, I really thought, especially in this first episode, that she actually gave everyone a genuine chance, which sometimes you feel like they don't. Sometimes you feel like they have their favorites, and but she definitely, I feel like she's willing to get to know everybody in the show.
Yeah, I agree, because I even noticed that she did give a rose to people who she didn't even get the chance to talk to on night one. I think that first night is so taxing on the people, the contestants. I think they're up until 5 a.m.
Yeah, they show the dawn, they're they show the sun rising and they're still going on.
Yeah, so and that's a lot of people to talk to. So and then the ITMs that they have to do and all that.
What's an ITM?
The their interviews.
Oh, the interviews. Okay, got you.
In the moment or whatever.
In the moment. I'm learning. I like that.
But yeah, I think there was I forgot his name, but I think Dotton or whatever, where he got a rose, and I feel like they did have a good connection when they first met, but they didn't actually get to sit down and talk.
Right,
so I like that she still gave that a chance.
Yeah,
too.
of course. And she has to cut 2 or 3 people at the first time, and you really got to make it count, and you got to when you do see her, you got to make it
Yeah.
matter. I think the one guy who came out of the limo like, "Hey guys, you're meeting your future mom," blah blah blah. And he's
I know.
gone.
I liked that though too.
It was. I thought it was kind of cute, but it's like,
I liked that. I feel like this season too, there wasn't a lot of like showy
Right.
things
Yeah.
where a lot of times they'll, guys will pull up in a fire truck or they'll do, all these different things, where this time it wasn't as showy, but I liked that.
Yeah, that's funny. So I took some notes on some of the entrances. Do you want to get into it?
Yeah, sure.
Real quick. Actually, I do want to talk just to close on Charity. Like we did talk about, she is someone that is a little bit more mature. 27 years old. Hopefully that helps her.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit how I see one or two red flags, but we'll get into that. And like that, in my opinion, that's been the problem of bachelorettes in the past.
Yeah.
Her parents have been married for 48 years.
I know.
That's crazy.
That's great. So she had a really good.
And she had a military father, it looks like. And then to get to this point, she was in a 6-year relationship where she said, unfortunately, there was a lot of cheating. And her herself, she's a mental health counselor, right? So there's a lot to unpack here as the season goes along. I really, really hope that she finds love at the end of it.
Yeah.
So she comes out in this gorgeous purple sequin dress.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely stunning. She doesn't seem nervous at all. She's ready for the moment.
Yeah. So I think she's just kind of born for this.
I think so too. I mean, it seems like she's ready for the spotlight. Mm-hmm. The first guy that comes out is Aaron B. So whenever I start watching a season, I wait till I watch the first whole episode before I make a personal top 4 hometowns, right? Mm-hmm. So to make my guesses for hometowns. But during the introductions, I have like an idea of like who I want in my top 4 hometowns, and I think he's in it, right?
I do too.
Yeah.
I just have a really good feeling about
Yeah,
him.
we like Aaron B.
But come on, he had to have a double-sided coin, right?
Yeah, of course. So for Aaron B, and we'll get to that later. My first note here was, dude, he had a great line. He said, your sparkle in your dress matches your eyes. I was like, oh, okay. He's got a little game. He's got a little game. He seemed a little nervous, but then he flipped a coin and he said, hey, heads, we get engaged. Tails, we don't, or I go home or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it hit heads, and then he's okay. In my head, I'm thinking like, okay, bro, like give her the coin, but he had other plans.
Yes. For later.
Yeah. He had other plans.
That was kind of slick for later on too, how he used that.
Exactly.
I liked that.
And that's all I was saying. I was like, in my head, I'm like, bro, give her something to remember the night. But like, all right, whatever. But he had plans.
Yeah.
He had plans. The next one, I had one more note that I wanted to talk about. So it seemed like her and Zach had ended their relationship on good terms. Would you say that?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. That's good. Did we like Zach?
I really liked Zach. There a lot of people had negative things to say, but I mean, there's no rule book of
give me an example of some of the negative things people would say about Zach.
I mean, like the way he kind of exposed the fantasy suite situation of who he ended up sleeping with and stuff.
Right. That's such a delicate thing. I remember Hannah had dealt with some drama with that, and Pilot Pete, and all that good stuff. You guys, man, you know what the fantasy suite is. We don't gotta talk about it.
And don't kiss and tell. You don't have to air everybody's dirty laundry, because I'm sure these contestants, like their parents and grandparents, are watching them, so that can be awkward. Sure.
I mean, we know the deal, guys. You don't have to let us know, even though we do want the details. But if you want to stay friends with people, you probably shouldn't.
You can just kind of allude to it without saying, yes, we slept together.
Right. So that was funny. Okay, so sorry. We'll get back into the contestants. So then we have Josh, who's a Harvard grad here. She gave him the 2 thumbs up. So didn't seem like she was super whatever, but she gave him the 2 thumbs up. She liked him. Yeah. After that, we had Joey. Okay, now Joey, this guy is dreamy. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go further as well.
Same. Yeah. So he's in my hometowns too. For my picks. Mm-hmm. The guy's a tennis instructor. I have here. He came from a broken home, but he believes in love.
From Hawaii.
Yeah, from Hawaii.
Yeah.
He brought the flower, which is the
So cute.
mahalo thing.
Yeah.
And said, hey, it starts on this ear. If we end up being together,
So sweet.
it moves over, because that's the symbolism that I think hopefully will dream forward. And then
I love that too. And she also said that he gives her butterflies. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, I think he's gonna do well with this.
As the episode progressed, and we'll talk about it, but as the episode progressed, to me, like, he really seemed like he was there for the right reasons, and like just like a genuinely nice guy. Now people can fool you, but I like Joe. I like him a lot. I'm sorry. Joey. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
So Warwick, he booked a flight and gave her the ticket to come back to his hometown, which was pretty cool. But it was memorable. But I didn't feel like he swept her off her feet, really.
Yeah,
kind of.
But I did write down that like that's how his parents met.
Yes.
So that's kind of cute too.
Yeah,
but.
yeah. She liked it. She liked the gesture. She gave him a rose, so he made it. So good for you, Warwick. We'll see what you can. All right, now for my third hometown, and they did a good job of kind of like, I don't know, like I feel like they put like some of the higher ticket guys some sooner, and then we talked about Dotem and how he might be one of those guys.
Yeah.
But Xavier. Now this is my third of the hometowns that I think. He seemed to really sweep her off her feet.
Yeah.
This guy did a really good job of combining being a nerd and a musician and an athlete, which is the all-in-one.
Right, girls love that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, you gotta have
especially
it all.
he's a doctor.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm sure.
Xavier, I like Xavier. I think he has a good chance.
And I think he got the first kiss later on in the night.
Yeah,
so.
did he? Was it him?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. All right, X to the Z. Cool. And then we have our first Michigan entrant. We had Caleb from Ann Arbor, family doctor. He seemed like kind of a square to me. He seemed like kind
Poor
of
Caleb.
Poor Caleb. Honestly, Caleb, if you're a local brother, I would love to have you on the show. And we'll talk a little thangy thing. But it seems like he's one of those guys that like makes it to like the top 6 or 7 just because he's like really cool and really nice, and like they're working on their relationship, but like you're not marrying this girl.
Right. I agree. I do think he goes a little bit further than a lot of the guys, but I don't think he's like top 4 or anything. But he seems very nice, very sweet.
Oh yeah. He deserves love too.
Yeah, I think they have a good connection, but not like that. Really.
It didn't seem that way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then we had right after that they brought in Khaled from Dearborn. I think, did he get sent home?
He did.
Sorry, buddy.
He didn't get a lot of screen time either, so I'm so sorry that
sorry,
local
bro.
boy, but we were rooting for you.
It wasn't love at first sight. We were rooting for you, but it's unfortunate. And then we brought in John Henry with the scuba hat. He said he wanted to dive in with her, which was,
That's cute.
Yeah, nice.
Then you got to carry that around for the rest of the night, but which a lot of guys were roasting him about. But I like these little memorable things where she can remember what they do for a living.
Exactly.
Like I remember Caleb did the stethoscope because he's a doctor. Like things like that where make her remember you a little bit.
Yeah, it makes an impact. So hopefully we'll see more of him. Now this guy I really like, Tanner, okay? From Pittsburgh. If those of you guys are watching, know a little bit about me. I lived in Pittsburgh. He said, hey, we brought the terrible towel, but I brought the Tanner towel. Now, after the episode, I'm like, man, we didn't really get to see a lot of Tanner. I don't know if he's gonna make it. But then in the season review, it looked like he might have made some headway with her. I don't know. I'm excited to see more of Tanner. He seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah. I, as a sports fan too, I loved that the Tanner towel thing. I was like, that's really, really cute and something that I would remember.
Yeah, for sure. The Tanner towel. Me too, man. Go Tanner. We're rooting for you. Don't have you in my hometown picks, but I am rooting for you. I hope you do good. Now, this guy, Chris, the crazy jumper.
Yeah. I was cracking up when the one guy's like, this guy's doing backflips and I'm in HR.
Yes.
I was
He's
dying.
like, hold up. This guy's doing backflips.
But
I'm in HR.
Yeah. I mean, world record holder. That's impressive, but obviously not too impressive because I didn't get a lot of time with.
Bro, you're not there for her, man. You got your 15 minutes. Like, you're pretty much a scrub. Pretty much a scrub. Right away, I'm like, bro, this guy's not here for the right reasons. But I really want to give her credit because, like, she didn't even give him a chance. She gracefully sent him home day one. Like, you're not here for the right reasons. I'm not going to embarrass you, but you got to go. Yeah. So I give her credit. So sorry, Chris. Sorry you didn't make it. Yeah. Now, Brayden. Okay. We have our opinions on Brayden.
I do.
Okay.
So
why don't you start?
When the limo entrance, I thought, okay, they have some like good chemistry. I think he's very young, 24.
Yeah, that's what I have.
24 is, I don't know why casting even puts.
Oh, you know why?
Puts guys.
You know why? Because he's a freaking hunk.
I mean, but 24 is so young. I don't know. I like how he did the up to date on shots and like gave her a shot.
Yeah, I think
that's super cute.
That was game. Yeah, that was game. He had game with that one.
I mean, and then later on when they were talking, I think they had really, really good chemistry.
Yeah.
But then when he went back and started like his bragging tour, I don't know. Some people are like, he's so cocky, he's this, he's that. I do think that he's just so young that he was genuinely excited.
Yeah.
I think he was just giddy and stuff, but it did come across as not there for the right reasons.
I have my opinions. I'll get into it a little bit later. Yeah. Once we get into the me time, the alone time with the Bachelorette, we'll get into that more. But one thing I will say is 24 is young. One thing I always talk about in terms of men and women interaction is sometimes a 24-year-old can be much more ready for a relationship than a 31-year-old, right?
Yep,
and it's about
true.
maturity. However, his age was very evident.
It was
in his actions, and we'll get to that a little later. All right, now Spencer.
Yeah,
this is the most awkward person.
It was so awkward. I felt so bad because then when the show progressed, I was like, oh, he does seem like a good person, but he's just not TV material.
No. Or he is. One way or the other.
Yeah, it could be where he, creates a storyline and stuff. But
if you look up cringe in the dictionary, I don't know how this guy has a girl or has a child. Like, honestly, like what? Yeah. Like, what? I'm sorry, Spencer. I'm sure you're a great guy, and maybe you were just nervous. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was very nervous. It seems like this is not his environment to thrive at all. But
this seems like this seems like a casting placement.
Yeah, that he did get the last rose,
I
believe.
That's a classic casting move.
Yes. So.
I really hope that he doesn't have a temper. I feel like I kind of saw it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe I'm projecting. I don't want to do that, but that's our job. We're projecting.
That could be. I didn't even think about that, but maybe I'm just being naive. Yeah.
yeah. And then in the what you called it, the ITM, he goes, yeah, there was a spark, there was a moment.
I was like, ugh.
He goes, yeah, we had a moment. I want it to be like a moment of awkwardness, brother.
Yeah. She handled it so gracefully, I know, too, because I would have laughed for sure if that was me, and just out of a nervous laughter. But she was just so graceful and so sweet to him. So that's great. But I'm curious to see how that.
No, she was nice. And then Caleb B, the pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Give me your opinions, please.
He's a character for sure. Probably there to, further his career and stuff, which is what it is. But we'll see. I mean.
Yeah. I have a feeling this guy's going to get in a brawl or two.
I think so. Or I could see him also being the type of guy that calls out someone else for his bullshit.
You know what? And like, Charity's so nice. Like, I just feel like she might like, you never know. Like, he might surprise us, and she'll say something like, "Oh yeah, Caleb's really sweet," and blah blah blah. But the whole time we're like, "Come on, man, send him home." Send him home. So
we'll see.
Well, we shall see.
I mean, he's got in his look too, with like the cowboy hat and the long hair. I'm like, oh boy, you know.
Yeah.
She was digging it though. I think she was like, oh, cowboy. So
rock your stuff. If that's your move, that's your move.
Then really lean into it.
Lean into it, 100%. Be memorable. He's definitely like he's pegged for paradise. Like he's going to
I
paradise.
agree for sure.
Yeah.
He's like the perfect person for that.
Yeah. All right. And then the next one was the guy that we talked about that came out with the hey kids, you're meeting your mom for the first time.
I thought that was such a good idea because I would have like melted if that was me. I would be like, oh my God, how cute.
You're forward thinking. And she's like, not my kids.
Yeah. She's like, oh, but I didn't see that they had like a
no spark. But I guess that's why, like, for those of you who are going to be on The Bachelor in the future, you can do a gimmick. I feel like that never works, man. Just walk up, make the eye contact, look into her eyes, and be like, "This is it."
Yeah.
You know. So
and I think that you either have a connection or you don't. So it's not, you're not going to connect with everybody. So
true. Okay, and we're almost done with the intros. We have John. Okay. He gave her the fortune cookie and he said, hey, it's fortune cookies just like me. It's a little Chinese, a little American. This guy's a stud.
I think he's going to be in the top 4
Yeah,
as well.
me too.
Yeah,
that's my final selection for my top 4.
Yeah, I think he could even like be the one, honestly. They have a really good connection. I think he's getting a very good edit by everything. I mean, he even like had a commercial beforehand that was like, oh, John's journey for love starts tonight. I was like, what? Like, this is about her. Like, don't even. But no, I think he's really genuine too. And yeah.
I like that. Okay. I think that's a good pick. And then, does lead me to our last one here, which is Dotem, who we talked about. The guy didn't have any time with her. However, he got a rose. They did have that instant connection. Very tall. He's got to be like at least 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
Just really tall, dark, handsome. From Nigeria. He's a doctor. And you could tell this is the one guy where I feel like out of all of them, he is there for the most genuine reason. Like he's there for her. He picked her out. I like her. I want her. And to me, that gives him a really, really good chance.
Yeah.
Don't have him in my top 4.
Yeah.
I would love to be wrong about that, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm excited to see his personality shine through a little bit more, too.
For sure. So, just to recap, actually, we'll recap after the private times, right? So the one-on-one time. Now, we'll start with Joey back again, right? So in mine, see, I thought in my notes, Joey was this guy that got game. I feel like, did he get the first kiss? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading this right.
I have Xavier with the first kiss.
Yes. Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know what? I think Joey had the time first.
Yes.
And I think she wanted him to kiss her.
Yes. That's what I have
here. She really, really was like waiting for it. And I think he just missed the mark, or he was probably just a little nervous.
Yeah, playing it cool.
Yeah.
This guy got game though. This guy got game. He kind of should have went in for it. Like she was confident she liked him.
Yeah.
But I also have in my notes here, which is if he was super confident that she liked him, there's nothing wrong with kind of giving her a little something to look forward to. I
agree.
But you have to know, like, oh, this girl likes me. Like, we're gonna hang out again.
Yeah.
I
think he probably was like, well, let's see, and he might get one of the first dates or something.
I think
because
so.
of that. Because she was waiting for it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's probably a good strategy. It's like, hey, a lot of these guys are going to be super aggressive, this and that. And for him, I think one thing that I always laugh about with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is you walk into this house and then all these guys are like so obsessed with you right away, when he's like, no, I'm gonna take my time to get to know you. There might be a connection here, there might be an attraction here, but I also know you're talking to 25 other guys,
right?
So I'm gonna take my time, and you're not gonna get my lips right away. Like there's something to be said about that.
I agree.
So I gave Joey a lot of credit for that. He's going a long way.
Yeah, and she did say, like, he gives me butterflies, so I think she might, like, for sure give him one of the first dates.
Right. James, who we didn't talk about getting out of the limo because his time was so short, he came with a handwritten note from his mom, her future potential mother-in-law.
Oh my gosh, and that was very cute for someone. I feel like Charity is very family oriented. So I think she really ate that up.
Yeah,
but,
she appreciated it. I love how the mother put in the note, which was like, we really want you to find love. Hopefully it's with James. Like that's just real. Like,
right. It
know?
is, because the reality is like, that is a very low odds,
Yeah.
very low odds that it ends up being her son. But,
but
I did like that.
It's definitely one of those situations where you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been and where you're from. So like, just to know, like, for Charity to know, hey, this is the type of woman that this man was raised by, he's probably going to treat his woman right.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
Good move.
I agree. I love that.
that.
I would have loved to see that as a woman. So
Yeah, absolutely.
sure.
Then your boy Xavier, this guy is comfortable in his own skin. One thing I loved about him is he didn't have a huge personality, but he's definitely one of the realer guys in the house.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm here to be me, and hopefully me meshes with you. And it did, because she went in for that kiss.
Yeah, and she's like, I loved that kiss. Like she audibly said like, hey, that was a very good kiss.
Yeah.
So
she went in for it, and for him, like he was just like, I don't know. I think in a lot of situations with men and women, like normally like a guy is the aggressor, but a lot of times, sometimes you're just sitting back and that person is into you, and then they make the move. So I really like that for him. I felt like he let it come to him. So that was good. Nehemiah, who we hadn't really talked about a little bit. Nehemiah, Charity's brother, insisted on coming to the house. I feel like she was kind of annoyed.
I didn't get that,
Okay.
but I like, come on, they could not have given him a better disguise.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, this is so funny, but obviously they wanted that little reaction from the men.
Yeah, it was a perfect disguise. So for those of you who didn't watch, Nehemiah is the Bachelorette's brother, Charity's brother, who came to the house and dressed up in a disguise to essentially eavesdrop on the contestants. And I don't know, maybe for me, I felt like she was a little bit like not like annoyed, like I don't want to see you here, but almost like I'm about to be making out with a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
You know what? Now that you say that, I did kind of get that vibe when he was kind of telling her what he heard, and she was just like, okay, well, let me figure this out on my own.
Yeah. Thank you,
yeah.
but no thank you. You know, no, it was great. So and we'll definitely be getting to that. So John, this is the guy that we both like, both of our final four. He had no problem going in for the kiss. And she, she does a good job of letting what she wants to happen. You know, if she wants to feel that connection, she wants to feel that love on the first night. I think that's important. A lot of times I don't know how it is in the Bachelorette or Bachelor house, but a lot of times feelings and love develop over time, and sometimes the person that you might have the most chemistry with is not the most compatible or the best person for you.
Yeah.
But you could tell she wanted to feel chemistry on that first night with people, you know. And after letting it slip with Joey, right? On the first one-on-one, she wasn't gonna not kiss anyone she didn't want to kiss.
Yeah.
But he went for it too. So I'm not saying it was all her, but she's accepting. Mm-hmm. She's accepting the love.
She's really leaning into her role where she's gonna do what she wants. So
yeah, exactly.
Good for her.
Exactly. And then they showed a little bit of the flips and the wrestling and all that sideshow stuff. I don't know. To me, it's you're just playing games for the cameras. I'm here for Charity to find love.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not here for that bull crap. But the cameras are. So hopefully they're having fun. And then Spencer, man, this guy is so weird, dude. I almost feel like it's an act.
I know. I'm really excited to see how his personality shines through a little bit because he did tell her that I have a son. And I just feel like he's so awkward, but I do think that he is probably a very good person, like I said, but he I don't know. He's just not going to thrive in this environment.
No.
He's a little bit older, right?
Yeah, he is a little bit older, which in my estimation was probably okay, here's another guy who you know, potentially could, you know, be something that of a rock, but like no, like I don't know. He articulated that he had a child, and it's just facial expressions are creepy.
I agree.
He'll be in the middle of a sentence and be like,
yeah,
and I'm just like
really like staring at you, and it's almost like staring at her mouth.
Yeah,
and just like I was like, oh my gosh, this is
scary.
So bizarre.
Yeah,
but,
he's scary. He's
but
scary.
she was so sweet to him, like where I probably wouldn't have been able to hide my expressions. With how I was feeling.
He seems like one of those guys that I've like, you know, like I would have known like since middle school, and because I've known him since middle school, I know that he actually is a good guy.
Yeah.
But like if I had met him just on the street, I'm like, bro, you're weird. But
yeah.
hope everything's going good for you, Spencer. I really, really do. I know you. She didn't marry.
I know. Yeah,
I know.
We know that you're.
I know that, but
give it probably like a few weeks.
Yeah. So Aaron B, like my initial, who was in my top 4, I think you said in yours too. Aaron B. So initially I kind of thought he was like nervous and corny, but the more that I saw of him, I'm like, oh no, this guy's got some game.
Yeah. When he started playing piano and kind of showcasing that he's like more than what he leads on.
Yeah, and for the record, there's nothing wrong with being corny. My entire brand is being corny, but
I am too.
But a lot of women don't respond to that. Yeah. And especially on TV, it's hard to be corny because you know you want to be a masculine guy or whatever image you want to spend. But as the night progressed, he definitely came into his zone as one of the more confident men in the house, in my opinion.
I agree.
I also have that he clowned me, like as the viewer, he clowned me with his coin because the whole time I'm saying, bro, give her the coin. Yeah. And then he's sitting with her and he says, okay, heads or tails? Heads, I kiss you. Tails, you got to play the piano. And of course, comes up heads. He gets his kiss. And I'm like, damn, that was smart.
I like that the other option was you play the piano too. Yeah. Like, I feel like that there could have been so many other things that he could have said. And that was the other option. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, because
for sure.
Still a little playful.
Yeah. And then once he went to the bar, he definitely seemed like more of a guy's guy when he was there. Like he was, you know, strong, masculine, just confident. So
yeah, I think he has her best interest at heart too.
So. Yeah, totally. I would hope so too. Now, Braden, okay? Here's the young buck. Now, I don't know. Let me go through my notes real quick, and then just see where we're at. So I said he was young and he passed the test. She really asked him what quality he liked about her because he said, hey, I watched you in the previous season. And he confidently and quickly answered empathy, which let me know, like, okay, he actually did his, you know, homework and researched on it. He seemed mature in that moment, you know, and she really bonded with that.
And I think that he actually does really like her and does have, I think they do have a very good connection, obviously. But, I think that quick answer and something not just like a blanket statement that really showed, you know, what she does for a living, because that does tie into her profession and stuff. I think he really does like her, and I think that this could go a little bit further than but he's definitely going to get the villain edit. He already is. So.
Of course. I talked a little bit about a red flag, okay, with Charity and with Braden. I'm going to be as transparent as possible. There are certain guys that shouldn't be there because they have external wants or desires to get from the show, okay? Other than being with the young lady that's the Bachelorette, okay? And then there's other guys who shouldn't be on the show because they're just pimps, all right? And this is one of those guys where he's just literally in it for the chase, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't like her. I'm not saying he doesn't care for her. I'm not saying he doesn't have a connection with her. I'm saying he's not ready to say I do to this young lady.
I agree with that. I think he is very, I think he's immature.
Yeah,
but
me too. So we talked about some of the other Bachelorettes, and it's funny because of the other Bachelorettes of the seasons that I watch, Rachel Lindsay is still with her guy, Brian, right? Mm-hmm. And during her season, I thought he was the same way. Now, he has proved me wrong. Right. Mm-hmm. I thought he was one of these guys where like, I'm just a pimp. Like, I'm just going to try to win the show. Right. And he has been by her side. They are married, and I really give her credit for knowing who is the right guy for her. So there's a part of me that wants to have Charity trust her gut and trust her judgment. But there's another part of me that's like, honey,
I agree.
girl,
I know.
You don't see what's happening here?
So I don't know. I'm hoping her intuition is correct, obviously. But I think she could have given him a rose, but not the first impression rose, because I do think that kind of set the tone with the other men. Like, oh, wait.
That behavior is rewarded?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you're the girl that I thought you were, because of how he was acting.
Yeah. And we hadn't touched on it, but so he goes in and he really vibes with her, and he gets a kiss, a passionate kiss, a kiss that lasts a long time, multiple, whatever, however you want to call it.
They had some good chemistry for sure.
And then in the ITM, she goes, we immediately hit it off, right?
Yeah.
And that's a telltale sign. This is what I hope for Charity. Charity, please do your homework on this guy.
Yeah.
Please do your homework. Don't let him play you and play your heart. The one guy gets really upset. The one guy gets really upset when he sees like her and Braden are making out for quite a long time. It's like, bro, you're on the Bachelorette.
I know.
Man. What do you
I was like, this is night one. You're in for it. You're really in for it if you can't handle night one.
For sure.
Her kiss,
Oh, hold up. She kissed a guy and you just met her 20 minutes ago, and there's 25 other guys in here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what are you going to do when you're like 6 weeks later when you're in love with her and she's spending the night with someone else?
Literally. So yeah, get your ducks in a row. You're not built for this if you're not, which, I would never be built for something like this, but I do think it's really funny to watch.
Yeah.
So, now, the undercover brother, we got, Nehemiah, who, takes all the information that he gathers, which part of that is Braden leaving his interaction with Charity and going to the bar and immediately starts talking. Bro, I kissed her, blah, blah, blah. He's all giddy and stuff. And Aaron B is really taken aback by this, as well as Nehemiah and some of the other guys. Like, why are you kissing and telling right now? And you said you thought it was just because of being young and immature, right?
Yeah, I just got that vibe where he's like super giddy and excited. But that's just not the way.
Not mature.
Yeah, not the way to go about that. But I think he just got excited. And I wouldn't be attracted to that quality in someone who's going to immediately go tell, the bartender, her brother, and a bunch of other men who I'm dating that like, hey, we just made out. Like,
yeah, not a good look for him, but it didn't seem to hurt him, and we'll get to that. Yeah. So Nehemiah, he endorsed Aaron B. He doesn't totally expose Braden. Like, he doesn't say, oh, this guy is a piece of garbage or whatever, but he does, which I kind of give Nehemiah credit for, because he kind of like, hey, I'm sure you have feelings for this guy, or you had a moment. Obviously, you kissed him.
My sister.
Yeah. But he does say that he was cocky and arrogant, and she immediately goes for Braden.
Yeah.
Braden, can I talk to you for a second?
I know. I was like, I feel like just give him a rose and not the first impression rose. But hey, this is her journey, and let her do what she wants. But I could totally see where the other guys are going to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So he tries to explain himself, but his immaturity is kind of really showing here. He's kind of like making excuses or whatever. He didn't do anything really wrong. He just was just immature, Yeah. You don't kiss and tell. First impressions are huge. She's like, oh, let me get a moment. Like, let me take a moment.
I know, like all dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did see over Twitter, like everybody's like, I don't really think he did anything wrong. It's just that immature, cocky kind of vibe.
Right, exactly. So he ends up getting the first impression rose, which were like so funny. To me, this is more about Charity. Okay, personally, it's less about him. Like, you might. I really hope this isn't the case. I just really hope you're not manipulated by the kiss and in the
man bun later on, little pony.
Yeah. And she comes back.
Yeah, he is a good looking guy. So,
Oh no, he's a stud for sure. He's a stud. And he's like got swag to go with it.
Yeah.
I just really hope you're not getting tricked by that. They come back and they kind of show to everybody that who they're all thinking like, oh, he's getting exposed and he's gonna get
sent home.
Sent home for the wrong reasons. Like, oh, he's gone. Whatever. He comes back with the rose.
I know they're like, what in the world?
It's probably one of those things where I think like Charity, it took her brother's word for it and everybody's word for it, and is like you guys aren't in my relationship. It's my thing. Maybe if she watches it back, she'll see it a different way.
Yeah, I think that she probably watched it and was like, yeah, a little cringe.
Yeah, a little. But so the other guys were upset. Yeah, no. So honestly, okay, cool. So during the rose ceremony, she starts with a lot of the guys that we liked to come after her. First it was Aaron B. After that, then it was John. Then some of the other guys mixed in. Jesse, right on point, comes in with the all right, guys, final rose tonight.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
He's really leaning into his role. You know what I do? I want to give Jesse props because I think he is getting a lot better at it, like the more seasons he does. So.
Yeah, for sure. So there's nothing better. I would always just laugh. It's just like, when you're ready.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny to me. He's not as dramatic, but he's definitely as cool as Chris.
Yeah.
So, and of course they keep Spencer, which we talked about, who is definitely going to stir the pot a little bit. So my final thoughts were from the preview for the rest of the season, where number one, it seems like she likes all of them. Like literally, she went on romantic dates with like all of them. It's like crazy, and it seems like there's a lot of tears and whatever down the line. So give me your final thoughts on that last little preview, and then we'll finish up with our 3 big questions. So
I mean, I think, like you said, she has like some connections with a lot of them, which is fine. I just I'm really rooting for her. I think she's a great girl, and I hope her intuition doesn't lead her down the wrong path.
Yeah.
But I do feel like she's got a solid group of guys,
Yeah.
and hopefully a lot of them are there for her.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how this pans out. I can definitely see a few of these guys getting the villain edit, and kind of I want to see how who's going to be like the first villain or the second, and
it's going to be fun. So 3 big questions that I want to ask. So we talked about our top 4. I think I might have mentioned 5, but I want to give my official top 4 here. Okay.
All right.
So John for sure. Okay, we're gonna go with John.
Yeah.
We're going to go with Xavier. Okay. We're going to go with Xavier. We're going to go with Aaron B. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to leave Brayden out. I'm going to give it to Joey.
I agree.
Okay.
I think Joey over Brayden for sure.
So I'm going to say Joey, Xavier, Aaron B, and John. Those are my top 4.
I agree with you, actually. And I also think that the top 4 always gets the best intro package.
Yes.
And you could definitely tell with those 4 that they got to showcase their hometowns and their career, a lot of shirtless shots and stuff like that. So they got the nicer intro packages.
Cool.
So I feel like.
So you're going to agree with my top 4?
I agree.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like they all had really good chemistry, and they all seem like good guys. So
okay, great. Now, who does she end up with is my next question.
I think her top 2, I don't know. I'm thinking Aaron B and probably Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris and Aaron B. So Chris.
I think probably Xavier goes home on hometowns.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking Joey.
Sorry.
Aaron.
Sorry. So wait, Aaron, Xavier, John, and we said
Joey.
And Joey, right? So who? So who's in the top 2, or who do you think? Who do you think she ends up with?
That's so hard to say, but I think her top 2 are probably going to be Aaron and John.
And John. Okay, Aaron and John. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, those are. I don't know. I don't like to guess who the last one is. And normally I will look at the T pages and find out.
Oh, are you a spoiler?
Yes, but the last 3 or 4 seasons, I said, no, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
that. So
don't
definitely
spoil.
not going to do that.
Yeah,
this
don't
time
spoil.
either.
Don't spoil. We have a show to make.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take Joey. I think Joey.
Okay.
I think Joey is the guy she ends up with. I think he's just the most genuine. He has the best. It's funny that they didn't kiss on the first day.
Yeah.
But I do think they have the most. He's the most genuine. He's in my opinion, great looking guy and just a nice guy there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And then here's my next question. Okay, this is the last question of the day. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Who's the next Bachelor from this group?
Okay. Let me think.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah. Maybe Aaron.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Aaron B? I
They're,
like
you
that.
know what? They are due for I think they need to have another Black Bachelor too.
Yeah,
There's
they
only
could.
been one.
Yeah.
And I think that you've had plenty of Black women
Yeah.
as the lead. I think America is ready for that.
Yeah.
Now, so I think Aaron would actually be pretty good.
I like that one. I'm gonna take the same route but a different approach. I think it's gonna be John.
Okay.
If John's not the person
Yeah.
she chooses, it's the first Asian American Bachelor
Right.
he would be.
Yeah.
And he's obviously a great guy, good looking. He's there for the right reasons. He's there for love. So I'm gonna take John as my next
right.
Bachelor. I think he's gonna be the next Bachelor.
Both
but-
would be great options. I mean, from what we know of
From what we
them
know right now.
so far.
From what we know right
let's
now.
see how it pans out. But I think both of those would be great options. They seem like they have a good lead vibe.
I agree. Well, Nicole, I had so much fun with
Yeah,
you
me
today.
too.
Hopefully we're able to do this and continue the
Yeah.
show. So maybe I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you follow Go Media. Make sure that you are subscribing to the YouTube, and make sure you're tuning into the Bachelorette so we can have something to talk about. If you have any ideas of who you think are going to answer those 3 questions for us. Who's your top 4? Who's going to get to hometowns? Who is going to be the person that Charity ends up with? And number 3, who is going to be the next Bachelor if it comes from this group of guys? So thanks so much for watching. And we'll see real quick. Let me get appreciated, G, because I really do appreciate. I really do appreciate Nicole coming through. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see.